Good evening. This is an unboxing video, but it's an original title I bought. You get a little peek of it there, but normally my unboxing videos are stuff I bought months, years ago that I'm rediscovering. This I just ordered. It's a Christmas present to myself. And, well, you'll see why. I've been dreaming of this for quite a while. We'll see if it lives up to the hype, to my expectations, but this came in from Amazon today. And yes, there you have it. The Complete Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. We'll see if it is complete because there's about 15 chapters. They did the 12 originally, and then Don Rosa went back and added in some more. I think A and B. But as you can see, there's my hand. This sucker is massive. Now, I have actually made suggestions online over the years of what I would love to see a deluxe, my money bin edition of this. So, yeah, there we go. Just want to make sure I don't tear anything. This is not easy to do with one hand. There we go. Okay. So, here we go. An unprecedented comics collection of Scrooge McDuck's life story. This epic duck book serial is back for keeps in a beyond complete, and we'll see, oversized full-color deluxe edition. It comes in a slipcase with a special commemorative coin available nowhere else. Now, according to the online description, oh, look at that. That coin is not really a coin, but it is cardboard with some foil on it. Feels nice, though. There, of course, is Don Rosa's signature. This is, of course, also available as a 2-volume set from the complete Don Rosa collection, also by Fantagraphics. Wow. So, I'm just going to, excuse me one moment. There's our beautiful Tiny Nook. Wow. Okay. There we are. Okay. $1952. I wonder why I picked that. Is that his official date when he died? Don Rosa. I don't know if they do how this matches the other slipcases. You can kind of see the lamination there. Oh man, here's where it gets good. Yep, smarter than a Smarties. And in the back is even more coins. I don't know if he did one. I think each chapter had a different coin of him. You can see the different years there. But we'll see inside. Now, want to make sure that this, excuse me, sorry about the crazy camera work, but I gotta use both hands here. Okay. Put that over there. Sorry. Okay, now, here's the book. Nice cover. Scrooge as a young boy. Shoe shiner, where he got his magic #1 dime. And yes, hopefully, I don't know in here if they tell that. That's another thing. Because he also did a story where Scrooge McDuck, magic of the spell, goes back in time to steal the #1 dime. But of course, she steals the #1 dime before he becomes the richest duck in the world. Spoiler alert. And of course, her plans are foiled. I can't get a close-up of that, but anyway. Okay. But of course, the question is, how did Scrooge McDuck in Scotland get a U.S. dime? And that is a hard lesson he learned as a young duck. Excuse me. I don't want to damage this because, yeah, this is bloody expensive. So let's just open this up now at 5 minutes. Nice end papers. Now in my Dream Edition, what I would call the Money Bin edition, which this is close to, I would have put the McDuck family tree here, which Don Rosa has also done. That's the other side. Oh, that's nice. All sorts of awesome on repeat. So I think this is the latter half and this is the origin. So let's just open it up here. Okay. Uh-oh. What's that? Why is this already off kilter? Well, I didn't damage it too much. There's Buck McDuck, The Complete Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, Don Rosa. Now, okay, here's where it gets interesting. The title page verso, David Gerstein, who I've known for, not professionally, I guess professionally. I've known him since we were both Duck fans back in the early 90s. Eric Reynolds, of course, is a great associate publisher. But David Gerstein, I believe he's working over in Denmark on all the Disney stuff there now. Disney Enterprises 2021, huh? Text of Just for Fun. Oh, good. Don Rosa kept the copyright. Now, one thing I'm hoping for is that in each of these, in the original publications from Gladstone, the comic books, when it was serialized in the comics by Gladstone, Don Rosa wrote text pieces at the back highlighting every one of the references he used, because all of this is based on mentions, asides that Scrooge McDuck made in the original stories by Carl Barks. And he said, yeah, I did this. When he was out adventuring to Donald Duck or with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, he would say, yeah, this reminds me of such and such. And Don Rosa, who is a big Ducks fan before he became a great comic book creator, collated all those together, put a timeline, and then used those to create this, basically. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 comic stories in here when the original was 12. So it looks very close that this might have all of those ancillary stories as well. And as you can see here, you have story codes. Now here D means it was originally published in Denmark. Why was it originally published in Denmark? Because Disney Comics works in a way, what they do is you only get royalties on the first publication anywhere. So Don Rosa would have it printed in Denmark, where at the time, 60% of the country, this is Denmark, it's not a huge country, but still 60% of the country read Disney comics regularly. It was basically just a family thing. You read them as kids, you grew up, you bought them, you read them as adults, gave them to your kids. And so it was not uncommon for a single issue of, say, Anders And, and whatever it is, company, or however it's, how you ever say it in Danish, to have an issue be read by 4 people. And I don't know about Denmark, but I do know in Germany, Mickey Mouse Magazine was selling 1 million+ copies a week. So, again, when you see that D in the story code, this is Denmark, 2003, 081. Wow, the original 12 chapters. Boom. We have the making of the Duck Family Tree, which was Money Bin Blueprints, which is a great story. Okay? But the making of are the text pieces, which I'm glad. Okay, so great. Good job. Me, I would have loved to see them as footnotes, duck notes, at the bottom of the pages. We'll see. You know, the in-between stories. Here we go. See, there's 8C, 6B, 3B, 8B, 10B. Here's one that was first published in American Walt Disney Giant. Huh. Lithograph, some of these, yeah. Why is 8C? Because chapter 8 is the King of the Klondike. Is there an 8B story? Yeah, there is. There's the 8B, the Prisoner of White Agony Creek. So that comes... Wow. And the related stories. Last Sight of Dawson. That's a great one. Ducks, Dimes, and Destinies. That was the one I was talking about where Magic of the Spell goes back in time to try to steal the #1 dime. Uncle Scrooge 300. Letter from Home. Oh, God. Yeah, it's a heartbreaker. There's some really good stories in here. And he, yes, definitely deserved the Eisner that he won that year. And yes, I highly recommend you buy just about any duck story. Just buy the whole, any random volume of the Don Rosa library of his Walt Disney comic stories, which are mostly Scrooge or Donald. Good stuff. Here we go. Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, The Last of the Clan McDuck. That's the first volume. I do not know. Let's see. I'm wondering. I'm going to go back here to the title page. Okay. I don't know if this is recolored for this. Also available. Okay, first of all. Carl Barks, again, he's the man who started it all. But the Don Rosa Library, volumes 1 through 10, get them. Any of them. Or just look through. So here's just look through the dollar bins, really. Because again, Disney comics aren't highly collectible in the United States. They are overseas, but not here. So generally, you can find back issues pretty cheap. There's a Don Rosa cover. Chances are there's a Don Rosa story inside. You'll definitely see the comics. See, that would have been the cover for... Actually, it says, yeah. But generally, for the Life and Times stories and Uncle Scrooge, he also did the cover. And later, for any story he did. There, I think that's the original cover. When he's in Australia. Yeah. King of the Klondike. But again, I was talking about the story. See, there's his... Here we are, him on Kilmotor Hill, Duckburg, with his family, her family, Vira, and that's the Duck Clan, who later, where Donald will come from later. See? And there's his sister. His sister, Scrooge McDuck's sister, marries one of the brothers, and they have a kid. Yeah, there it is. There's the fateful meeting. Quackmore and Hortense get married and have Donald. And there's his other sister. And there's Fort McDuck, I believe. Oh, no, that's Fort Duckburg, excuse me. And there's a whole bunch of other histories. And there's the origins of the Junior Woodchucks. Great story, again, over if you're a librarian. Uh-oh. Not politically correct. But they're the origins of Bombi the Zombie. And, yes, that story will later come back to haunt him. Here we have part 12, right after Scrooge reconnects with Donald and his nephews from A Christmas on Bear Mountain. I think it's the title of it, which is also, I think, the first Uncle Scrooge story. So, here we meet the Beagle Boys for the first time, and the Beagle Dad. And there's a whole history of that. Let's see. Just a moment here. So, richest duck in the world. And there's the This is very rare that you get a full page spread like the splash page like that, because in most Disney stories, and ooh, what is this, a fold out? Oh boy, look at that. Okay, there and there. Hubba hubba. Excuse me. So generally, you'll see here, and that comes from Carl Barks, and maybe previous artists as well, but Carl Barks would do illustrations on a full board for half a page. So you would get this panel, that would be one piece of artboard, might be 10 by 17 or larger, and then you get the 2 tiers of panels, and as you go in the story, you get 4 tiers. Each of these, that would be one piece of art, that would be another piece of art. So it's very rare that you get anything that would change that tier. There's Buffalo Bill recreating the legend of Buck McDuck. Pothole McDuck, his uncle. You'll see that, I think, in chapter number 3, where he's on the Mississippi. There is our esteemed president / superhero, Theodore Roosevelt. This is a supplemental story where he ends up in Panama during the creation of the canal. God, look at that. 10B. Don Rosa, man. He knows his stuff. Not just Scrooge McDuck, but all the story, all the great history and such. Here we got Uncle Scrooge returning to the Klondike again. Reliving his old lost flames. Lost flame? Old flame? Yeah, old flame. Goldie. And here, as I mentioned, Magic Had a Spell has the wonderful scheme. We learned the origin of his #1 dime, his lucky #1 dime. The Magic as a Spell has a wonderful idea to go back in time and steal it from him. And just so much good stuff. Dream of a lifetime. Dun dun dun. And again, what's great about Don Rosa is he'll put in wonderful science fiction tropes, ideas like that mind, that dream machine, whatever it is. Uh-oh, here's another fold out, which is from the first collection, Danish Anthology. So this is from Gemstone, which was after Gladstone, Diamond published Disney Comics for a while, so it was Gemstone. And that's their first collection of that. And the cover 300, Uncle Scrooge 300. There's the key of all of his villains and people he met. Oh, wait a moment. Let's just fold out too. Oh, yeah, there we are. How many of those can you name? Me, I recognize about half of them, but I couldn't name them. But they're good stories nonetheless. Letter from home. Yep, there's a code there. Do you know what it says? Doesn't look like a very difficult cipher. Ah, there's the McDuck tartan, which is not the one registered by Disney. So you can probably recreate that. It's just green and orange don't really go together too well. Now here again is an example. Now this is unusual that you get 3 panels like that, a 12-panel page in Disney Comics. Works great though. But then this, to have a giant tier in the middle, normally doesn't happen. If they were to reprint that in a European comic, they might have to rearrange the tiers. Look at that. A half page illustration in the middle of a story. Again, works like a splash page in Disney Comics. You know it's amazing. I have no idea what these are. These alternative... Oh, again, in Europe, because they knew it had a good thing when they had it, they didn't just print the whole story in one comic. No, it's a weekly comic, so they would serialize it. So a 22-page story or such, and what would be an American comic book would run a 10-page story over 2 or 3, usually 3 issues. And there's the official crest of the Clan McDuck. All sorts of different editions. So yes, I am very pleased with this. See, here's how they would do it. I don't know. Uncle Doug, but there's the German ones. I have a few of those. Germany, 7-volume paperback series plus slipcase. Again, I don't know if this edition like this is available in other countries yet. I'm sure there are. It's not that difficult to reproduce. Oh, Fun Art Glum Gold. Might want to pause on that and read that. So basically, this is the reading list, the bibliography. If you want to go in and discover all the backstories, like Black Side of Klondike, there you are. A lot of these have been reprinted by the Karl Barks and Don Rosa have almost all been collected and reprinted by Fantagraphics in wonderful editions. Editorial staff, David Gerstein. This, if it doesn't get at least nominated for a Eisner Award for Best Reprint, I don't know. But this is something I would probably read at leisure, although hopefully, I mean, I don't know if they'll do a 2-volume set regular edition. Which if it exists, I would recommend that. I mean, this is pricey. I bought it because I am a big fan of Don Rosa. He's a wonderful guy. If you ever see him at a convention, go up and talk to him. He knows a ton about Silver Age comics. There's Annie Oakley. Plus, knows just about everything there is to know about Disney. And if you probably buy him lunch or he'll probably can tell you all sorts of stuff about working for Disney. He's been retired now for about 20 years. Let me see if I can find. I don't want to hurt that. Wow, here's another fold out, looks like. Oh yeah, here we go. That's what I was looking for. I was going to go to the front and look for it. So, Duck Family Tree. The first of several duck trees drafted by Karl Barks has explored the ducks and McDuck. So there's old Scotty McDuck. Scrooge, Hortense, and Matilda. She married Gustav Gander. Adopted Gladstone. Orphan son of Donald's aunt Daphne. Hortense married Quackmore Duck. Had Thelma and Donald. I think Thelma does appear in... Yes, I think that's the same name. In the new DuckTales. And there's Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And then we have his Aunt Daphne. And of course, Gus Goose. So here's the Duck family tree. There's the origin, first appearance or mention. Della. I think that's what he did. Instead of Thelma, it's Della Duck. And Della is in the is now, that's the Canosity. Here's another. Takar Barks, 1991. Is Ludwig von Drake a relative? We don't know. Feathery duck, which is a European cousin. And as you can see from the caption there, Egmont wanted him in there. So, this is fascinating. I've not seen any of this before. God, look at that craziness. Daisy and her nieces, yeah, who are not related. April, May, and June. I know that. What a great name for triplets, right? April, May, and June. Yeah. Her three nieces. Dimwitty. What great handwriting he has, lettering he has. Okay, this is a fold-out page here. So, more. These might be actually footnotes from the previous story. No, this tells the whole, good Lord. All the different. Okay, oh, this is a money bin, which is a great story in and of itself, if you ever find that. The the Beagle Boys actually invade the money bin, and the money bin ends up thwarting them. It's a wonderful story. The money bin blueprints. Okay. So I don't know if they reprinted the family tree in here or not. And there's the beginning of his fortune. And there is his money bin. So I don't know if they reprinted the Duck family tree in here. Let's go back to the... Yeah. And you can see the fold out. Oh, there it is. 2 and 8 fold out. How did I miss that? Because it's over here. Duh, I got so taken in by this. Okay, here's the American version. If you read the text or you go online, you'll find out how the European version changes. It's been different. Okay, so here, friends of the family. Daisy, April, May, June. And of course, Gyro. There's Coots. I don't know what branch that is. And the Clan McDuck. Doherty Dengus McDuck. Married Molly Mallard. Had Fergus, Jake, Angus. Fergus is the father of Scrooge and Matilda and Hortense. There's Donald, Della and her husband, who we have no idea who that is. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, who are the future heirs of McDuck Industries, or whatever it's called. So, no idea where Pintail Duck fits in there, but you have the Cornelius Cute, which are the Duckburg American line. Grandma Duck, well known. Big family there. Quackmore, Gustav, Daphne, Eider. There's Feathery, Gladstone's well known. Don't know about Abner, Gus Goose. You know, from the Grandma Duck stories. Again, there's a tartan. There's the lucky dime. And so that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 generations. Now, Gladstone or Gemstone, I don't think published it as a poster, and I know I was reading, again, getting back to the royalty situation here. These stories, though produced in England and America in English, were all printed overseas first. Denmark would get them, and then all the other licensees could own it and could reprint it, and they didn't have to pay royalties to Don Rosa. So it would take up to about a year for the American editions to come out. I could not wait that long. So what I did, and this was early 90s, I was working downtown. God, look at that. Look at all of this turkey chicken fat that's in the back. And anyway, so, sorry. So I was working downtown at the main library. And basically right across the street, or close to it, about a block or two away, was a newsstand run by the local magazine distributor, who also ran the Read All About It stores at Crossroads and Westroads. But downtown, they would get, look, there's another half panel in the middle of the story. Oh, he's angry now. Look at that. Look at that. And they would have 4 magazines there, including the Mickey Mouse magazine from Germany. And I read German badly, but I said, okay, I can't wait. Oh, look at that. I would buy the weekly Mickey Mouse magazines that had the Don Rosa, Life and Times, Scrooge McDuck stories in them. I forgot where I'm going. Oh, so the thing with Mickey Mouse magazine and a lot of the European comics, the weekly comics at least, is you would buy the magazine and then there would be a premium attached to it if it was a toy, or an insert if it was paper. And so what they did is AHAPA Verlag, Mickey Mouse magazine, for one day, one issue, they had the poster of the Duck family tree, and then as you bought the multiple issues, they would have punch out, or might even have been stickers, so that it would be black and white on the family tree, but then you can put the sticker on there with the full color and fill it in. I have that downstairs somewhere. Oh boy, look at that cursing. Oh God, that's good old-fashioned European comics cursing. So I have that somewhere as well. So cinematic. That's like isn't that like the opening shot of, it's like the opening shot. I think this hall is, yeah. Yep, there you are. Yep. Recreating the opening of Citizen Kane. Yeah, there he is. Bringing you up to date what happened after he basically disowned his family. And this is, oh God, I'm sorry, I'm getting teary-eyed here a little. So this is after Christmas on Bear Mountain, and they're on the way to meet Scrooge McDuck finally, the day after Christmas, or the day of Christmas, and there he is. Man. Anyway, and then this is the story after that where the Beagle was trying to rob him. And he then realizes, hey, I'm not sold. After all, I can go on and still have adventures. So I'm going to shut it off now. Sorry about that phone. But man, this is great. If you got the money, yeah, buy it now. If not, get some of the older editions, reprints, or wait for this to come out on a cheaper edition. And let's show the back. There you are. So well worth the price. I am quite pleased with this. I have almost no criticism of this. They did well. Sorry about that. Okay, it's my brother. So anyway, I'm glad I bought this. This is really a great collection. And yeah, if I were voting for the Eisners, I would vote for this. Because they done good. They did really well. Man, so buy this, read any Carl Barks, read any Don Rosa, Disney stories. If you liked either version of DuckTales, this is where it starts. It starts with Carl Barks. It starts with Don Rosa, who actually wrote a few episodes of the 1990s series. And they just used that as the inspiration for the DuckTales cartoons. And yes, I was really amazed by the latest version. Just amazing storytelling. Actually had me in tears in a few places. So hopefully that'll come out on DVD at some point and I can buy the box set. So there we are. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.